Hi you guys, how are you? If you are new to my channel, my name is Sarah. This is my YouTube channel, Stitching by Sarah. It's a channel about cross stitch. Today's video, I'm just going to do a stitch with me. The day that I upload this video, I am hopefully going to be on vacation in a nice sunny location, sunny and warm location. So instead of a normal Flosstube video, update video, I thought I would do a stitch with me. So how's your day been doing? Today, I worked this morning, got my patient delivered by 8:40 and had her recovered and over to postpartum, and there was no other patients waiting to be admitted or anything. So I said, can I go home? And the charge nurse said, sure. So on the way home, stopped at HEB, which is one of our local grocery stores. Walked in the grocery store. It was just a very humid, muggy, overcast, day out there. By the time I walked in the store and walked back out just to get milk and some fruit, it was the typical Texas downpour rain. It was pouring buckets, so I got drenched all over. So I came home, changed my clothes, and then I've spent an hour and a half trying to figure out where to put my phone for the video. So that's been my day so far. How's your day been? I hope it's been good. So gonna do a stitch with me. Go grab your stitching, your crochet, your knitting, your paper craft, whatever you are gonna be doing. Grab your water or whatever your beverage of choice is. And we'll go ahead and start the little stitch with me. So I'm going to put a picture right here. This is what my stitchy spot looks like. It is right in front of the TV. In the mornings I get up, I stitch for maybe an hour if it's a day that I don't have to work. And in the evenings when after supper, sit down and watch TV, I'm sitting here most of the time doing cross stitch. You see my little purple pillow? So this is my little purple pillow. This is what I hold my my magnetic board on. I do like to make a copy of my charts and highlight. So I usually have a highlighter in the front pillow. I do have a seam ripper. You have to be very careful though if you're using a seam ripper on your stitching, and just to get the stitching. But I have this seam ripper because it's got like a little rubbery end. So when you're taking something out and you have all those little pieces of floss all over your fabric, you can just take this and it helps pick them up. And I believe I got this off of Amazon. It says Seam Fix. I don't know if you can see that or not. So that's, and I actually, maybe it was Hobby Lobby. It's one of the two. And let's see, on my magnetic board, I have an Ort jar. Ort is O-R-T, or old ratty thread. So after you're stitching, if you don't know what an Ort is, and you have the little tail hanging, that's what an Ort is. So I just put it in there. I do keep a pair of little scissors on the front here. You see my little two dangly things. I believe these are counting pins. I will use them as counting pins, or if I have just a couple of stitches that I need to take out, I will use these to help take them out. And then I have this little thing. I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember what it's called. It's got a little cute little plastic star on the end, and you can see the two pieces of wire. What you do is you thread them underneath your stitching on the back. And this helps you pull your small little tails. Oops. You know what, let me get the other glasses on, that might help. You slide this under your tails. Under your stitching on the back. And sure, I'm being watched. I can't get it. Slide them under your stitches. And then when you have just a little bit of a tail, because you're playing thread chicken, you can put it through the tail here and pull it through. Or if you've been taking out stitches and there's a little bit of thread left, you can put these underneath your stitches on the back and help pull it through that way. And if I can remember, I will put the name of what this is, because, you know, I can't think of it right now. This little pillow, I got this off of Amazon. It's actually one of those little, like a book pillow or a laptop or a tablet pillow. So that's what that is. So that's all my little paraphernalia that's sitting here. And I'm working on Holiday Express. So how was your day today? I worked a little bit this morning. So if you don't know, I'm a labor and delivery nurse. Got my patient delivered by 8:40, 8:45, got her recovered and over to postpartum, and there was no other patients waiting for me, I should say. So I asked the charge nurse if I could go, because I wanted to come talk to you guys. And she said, yeah. So on the way home, got a message from my husband saying that we needed milk. So I stopped at HEB. And if you don't know where I'm from, I'm here in Texas, United States. And Texas has got a very different rain. A lot of times it just pours. It's not a nice little sprinkle, but it just pours. The skies open up and rain just comes drenching down on you. So I went in HEB. There was just very muggy and overcast. And by the time I came out, it was pouring buckets. So I got soaked. I live about 20 minutes from the HEB that I went to. So by the time I got back, it was cold, or I was cold. Came in, turned the heat on, warmed up. Now AC's back on, and I actually have the ceiling fan on because Leah said it was too hot. I tend to like it warmer in the house than my husband. When he comes home, I turn the AC back down or turn it up so that it's a little more comfortable, and I just climb under a blanket. You can probably see maybe, I don't know, you may be able to see my blanket over there. So that was today so far. As you can see, I do stitch in hand. I do the sewing method most of the time. Sometimes I do the poke and stab method. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Danish method and the English method. I don't remember which one's which. One is where you make one leg at a time. You go in and then up and then down and up, you know, kind of like the little slants, and then come back and do the other leg. That's what I do most of the time, but on occasion I will do the 1X at a time. I am not very good at using 2 strands of the variegated. I like to do the loop method to start, and yeah, because I like to stitch to get it done. I know a lot of people like the stabbing, like they say it's cathartic to do the poke and stab, but for me it's more cathartic to do the sewing method. Just a minute, I'm a licker. So I lick the end of the strands to try to get them loaded onto my needle. I tend to use the John James needles or the Bowens. I like the 26. I put Leah outside. I don't know if you can hear her barking in the background. I had started the video and I gotta cut that end. I had started the video and the FedEx man came and she was all over the place. So I said it'd probably just be easier to throw her outside for a while. I do have a copy of the Get to Know Your Needle Worker. Here's when I don't have anything else to talk to you about. So I will go through all those questions. So no, I stitch in hand. And I do the loop start. I don't know if you can see, this was one strand that I folded in half and it's got a loop on the end. So I do the loop start when I have a new strand. So that's just the way I sew. I don't know. It was a game changer when I saw, I think it was Kimberly Jolly on the Fat Quarter Shop. I think she's the one that I found it from. And it was definitely a game changer. But you know, you do you do what works for you. As I said, with the variegated, unless it's highly variegated, like, so with that variegated strands, I do 1X at a time. But for all the others, if they're not highly variegated like that, I will do one strand folded in half and then do the one leg method and then come back and do the other leg method. So if you don't know, I live here in Houston, Texas, in the United States. I actually live on the north side. I live in Montgomery, or just out of Montgomery. We were living in the Pinehurst area, and we just moved up here almost a year ago. In March 1st, it'll be a year ago. And before that, we were living in Tomball. They're all on the north side of Houston. My husband and I, so if you don't know the Houston area, there's Houston, and then this is the north area. Let's see. So this way, on the northwest side, there is like Tomball, Pinehurst, and then you go up 149 and we're up here. So we just kept creeping north out of Houston, and as we keep moving farther north out of Houston, the city keeps moving towards us. So we've only been down here in Texas for about 11 years. We lived in Pennsylvania before that. We were born and raised in Pennsylvania. My husband had been trying for quite a while to get me to move down south. And I kept dragging my feet saying no. And then, so the hospitals that I worked at a county hospital, and their labor delivery unit closed, and that was like 35 minutes from my house. So this is up in rural Pennsylvania, and so I had to get a job in upstate New York, up in the Binghamton area, and that drive was an hour and 15 minutes on a good day. In the winter of 2010, we had a big old snowstorm. left, I think it was about 2 feet of snow. And like an idiot, I tried driving it and it took me over 3 hours. And I finally said to my husband, all right, I'm ready. Let's move. So we moved the following summer. And if you're wondering why we picked Houston, Texas, my best friend, she lived in the area. And my husband had worked in the Houston Ship Channel. He used to be a merchant marine, so he worked on tugboats here in the Houston area, and he liked it. So that's how we landed in Houston. Kids weren't very happy about the move, but I think they're happy now that we've been down here a while. I think it was a very good move for us because there's a lot more for well, they're not children anymore. Our children, there's a lot more for them to do down here than up in Pennsylvania. A lot more choices of jobs. And the pay's better. So that is how we ended up down here in Texas from Pennsylvania. A question on the Get to Know Your Needle Worker. It says, what do you do for a living? I think I've already told you that I'm a labor and delivery nurse. I've been a labor and delivery nurse since 1997, I believe. Graduated, this tells you how old I am. I graduated nursing school in 93. I worked in the little county hospital that's 35 minutes from our house. I did med-surg, the medical surgical floor, for about 3 years, and then the manager of the labor and delivery unit said, hey, why don't you cross-train to labor and delivery? And so that's how I ended up there. I haven't always worked labor and delivery since I was cross-trained. At one point in that little hospital, I was kind of like the hospital PRN person. I worked PRN or, the as needed part-time thing. PRN in labor and delivery, and I was also in oncology, their little unit, and I would work the short stay unit or the short procedure unit. I worked there for a little bit. This is all at the same time. I was PRN around the hospital. So, and also PRN in the recovery room of the operating room. So I have done a lot of other things in addition to labor and delivery. My current position is labor and delivery, and I just was kind of a transition into our maternal designation coordinator. So down here in Texas, the labor and delivery units, the NICUs, like the ERs and the operating rooms, they all have to be designated for a certain level of care. So my job is to do chart audits and make sure we have all the paperwork that we need for that, for our designation. Before I worked at this hospital, I worked at another hospital that I started off as labor and delivery, and then I transferred over to the maternal fetal medicine clinic. So basically, they did ultrasounds, and we had patients, like the high-risk patients would come for weekly visits. So that's basically my nursing career. But I seem to keep coming back to labor and delivery. Next question is, do you have any children? Yes, I do. I have a son. He is 26, and my daughter is, let's see, 23, I believe. I'm not very good at remembering their ages. Oops, get in there. And do I have any pets? I do. You guys have met Leah several times if you've watched my videos at all. Can I just tell you, this is hard, talking to you guys and stitching at the same time. I've already made a couple of mistakes. I've got to back out here. Oh, I guess just one. Anyways, we have 2 dogs. Leah every now and then makes a little showing in the videos. She's our little troublemaker dog. She's got a lot of separation anxiety. So, and she's a bad dog. If you're not watching her, she'll go out and get in the garbage, get on the countertop, you know. So, we have to keep an eye on her. And then we have Sam. He is 11, I believe. He's getting old. He has a hard time moving around. You know, he's living his best life right now, just laying around the house. He gets up, goes to the bathroom, he eats, and then lays back down. That's all he does. And he's a sweetheart. And that's all the animals I have. I have been a stitcher from, I would say, as a teenager is my guess. I don't remember. My mom, she is a crafter. She likes to, her main things right now is cross stitch and crochet. She does know how to knit. She has attempted tatting, let's see, crochet, sewing on the sewing machine. She used to make our clothes when we were young. So she's a little homemaker. She can do all that stuff. So she taught us, tried to teach us, I should say, all of that stuff. I picked up the cross stitching, and my sister, she just started back at knitting. So she's a knitter. Hopefully you're still knitting, Gail. I did show you my very first, oh, hello. I have never had that happen before. My very first large cross stitch piece is something I made for a friend for her wedding. In the 90s, I made a lot of projects for other people. And then in the 2000s, I kind of stepped away from cross stitching a little bit. I'd maybe make one here and there. But it was when I found Flosstube that I'm back. I've heard a lot of people say that. I think it was around maybe 2018, I found Flosstube. And now I have, like, by the end of January, I'll have over 60 whips. Yeah, nuts, I know. But, you know, as some people have said, if you've got them kitted up, you might as well get them started. And I had I had 31 charts all kitted up. So that's why I'm starting them all. So how many whips do you guys have? Are you somebody who has just one at a time? Or are you like me and you're nutso and you have all sorts of whips? I don't remember. There was somebody, a Flosstuber I was watching that had like 80 some whips. I don't remember who that was. I want to say the Needleberry Stitcher, but I'm not sure. But don't quote me on that. I don't remember who it was. So I'm not the only nuts one out there. All right. Do I have any hobbies other than stitching? When it's not 900 degrees, I like to be out and mowing the yard or planting flowers. But here in Texas, it tends to get quite warm. I have dabbled in quilting. I have a quilt that I need to finish. I've made a couple of quilts for kids, like lap quilts and stuff like that. So I guess that would be my other hobbies. All right, I'm doing a case of thread chicken right here. Trying to get these last 2 stitches in. What's your favorite project that you guys have worked on or finished? I would say my favorite finish, oh my, probably my Paula Vaughn, the, what's it called, Spring Morning? I'll put a picture right here. I don't know, can you guys hear Sam snoring? He is snoring like crazy. And you can probably hear Leah outside barking. She's letting the neighborhood know that she's out. All right, let me just mark my little areas here that I have worked on, just so I don't forget where I'm at. Oops. Yep, that's right. All right. Let's see, what's my favorite movie? So I like Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze. That's one of my favorites. I love Pretty Woman. I like the rom-coms, the romantic comedies. I do a lot of Disney videos. Ella Enchanted is one of my favorite. Oh, the Princess Diary, not Princess Diary. Oh shoot, what's the name of that movie? Yeah, I think it's Princess Diary. The girl in San Francisco finding out that she's a princess of Genovia. That's one of my favorites. We tend to watch a lot of John Wayne movies. I like McClintock and Quiet something or other. I don't remember. I have horrible memory if you haven't noticed. Quiet Man, I think it's called. I like to watch those. We like to watch a lot of older movies, like from the 40s, 50s, 60s. We'll see a new movie and pull it out and watch it. So I think that's, oh, I like the Avenger movies. So it varies a little bit. Let's see, let me get this started and then I'll answer the next question. All right, so next question is, what's your favorite TV show? I don't think there's a TV show that is currently on that I watch. We watch a lot of reruns. When Once Upon a Time, when that was on, I watched that. I still watch it in reruns. We watch a lot of oh shoot. See, I told you I have horrible memory. I can't think of the name of the shows. I like Gilligan's Island. I don't see that very often. I like, oh, what's that TV show with Eddie Albert and one of the the Gabor sisters? Green Acres. Watch that a lot. Um, what's the one? Oh, we like to watch Penn and Teller, actually. That's a show that we tend to watch a lot of. So we like a lot of older TV shows and movies. All right. So do you guys have any favorite movies or TV shows that you absolutely cannot live without? All right. My favorite book. I don't have a favorite book per se. Well, other than the Bible. But favorite book, I would say I'd have a favorite author and a book series. I like the historical romance novels. Yeah, I know. 2, 3. 2. So yeah, if I read something or an audiobook, it'll be a historical romance. All right. Let's see. Next question is favorite music. I am a country music girl. I like the country music from like the 90s. So the cruise we're going on is actually a country music cruise. Clay Walker is going to be on it, giving a performance. Neil McCoy, Oak Ridge Boys, Pam Tillis, and Mark Chestnut. So we're going to see, actually there's got to be more than that. Oh, the lead singer for Alabama, he's going to be there. So this next week we're going to have a lot of concerts, and I'm excited. I like to go to concerts. My favorite singer is Gary Allan. I've been to, I don't want to tell you guys this, but I've been to over 20 of his concerts. I don't know the exact count right now, but I've been to far too many. I like Montgomery Gentry, or Eddie Montgomery now, because Troy has left us. He was in an accident. I like Craig Morgan. Who are some of the other ones? There's a bunch. Oh shoot. See? The name just went in my brain and right back out. Who sings Seven Pina Coladas? Garth Brooks. I like Garth Brooks. Oh. 2, 3. All right. I've got a mistake there. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to leave it because it doesn't make much difference in the pattern. I'm just working on the steam that's coming off of the train. I have told you that I am a fudger, right? All right. Okay. What one word describes me? Oh my goodness, I have no idea. When it comes to taking care of patients, I believe I am quite compassionate. Um, Definitely with my patient care, I'm compassionate. Although my husband probably would not say so. Um, I'm I'm kind of shy. I think that's a good word for me. I'm not a big talker. So this is very much out of my comfort, is to be sitting and talking for as long as I have been talking. My husband gets mad at me because I don't talk to him very much. And usually, a lot of my friends are the talkers, and I just sit there and, I'm there for the conversation, listen to conversation, put my 2 cents in uh, when when they ask for it. Let's see. And that's the end of that. I didn't have too many questions. So how long have you guys been stitching? So I told you I'm from probably the 80s. I don't remember if I was stitching before 80s. Earliest memory of actually stitching is when I was sitting with one of the ladies in the neighborhood. She needed a sitter, so I would sit with her during the days and watch her sleep, and I'd be doing other, like cross stitching or reading, all sorts of quiet stuff while she just sat in her chair, watched TV, slept. Oh. I am not picky as to the type of fabric I stitch on. So you've seen me stitch on Aida. You've seen me stitch on even weave. You've seen me stitch on linen. Do you guys have a preference as to what fabric you stitch on? Are you just an Aida stitcher, or are you a linen stitcher, even weave? And what's your favorite count? I like 32s and 28s and 14s and 16s. That's my happy place. I do have at least 140 count that I'm working on. You hear Leah? I hope you don't hear Sam snoring. He's snoring like crazy. Leah's telling the neighborhood that she's out there watching and patrolling. All right. I don't think my stitches look as pretty. Sitting and talking with you, I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing as much as usual. So, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Let me know if you want more Stitch With Me videos. I still have a couple videos up my sleeve that I gotta get done. One is my craft room tour. I've got to get that cleaned up so you guys can see what my craft room looks like. I have my one cross stitch. Who are all these kids that I need to get a new frame made for it and remat it. And then I have the one with the violin that needs to be taken out of its frame. That's the one that we rescued. It's got to get cleaned, and then got to take it to a framer and get it reframed. And hopefully I can find somebody that will make an oval mat for me. All right. So I've got both little steam areas made. So I just need to put more of that gray down along the sides of the railroad track. And then I am done with the actual train. And then I just need to finish the borders of this funky variegated, that variegated there. I need to finish that. And then it's done. Then I can cross one off of my massive list. So, all right. I'm going to stitch with you for maybe another 10-15 minutes. And then and then I will let you go. So you guys have any big plans for any vacation this year? We haven't made any plans yet as to when we're going back up to Pennsylvania. We have been trying to make yearly trips up there because our parents are getting older. Oops, wrong hole. So we've been trying to get up there a little more frequently. Oh man, see, that's one reason why I like the loop. I'm gonna just start a new strand. Let's see. So I am going to the Silver Needle Retreat in July. Is anybody else going to be there? My friend Beth, she's going. Caroline, my friend, she'll be going. So you'll see 3 of us. Jill, she's also from the area. She'll be going. The designers are the Drawn Thread and Summer House Stitchworks. So I can't wait to see what that's like. That'll be my first real big retreat. I went to, no, I guess it wouldn't be my first real big retreat because I did go to a Stitching with the Housewives one 2 years ago in July. In October, I'm going to be going to Scotland for 2 weeks. My sister-in-law, when we were home last year, I don't remember how the conversation got to wanting to visit Scotland. She said she wanted to go, and I said, ooh, I would love to go there too. And she found through the local AAA that they had a group trip scheduled. So she said, do you want to go? And I'm like, oh, yeah. So I'm going to Scotland in October. And that's very exciting. I can't wait. So I think that's all I've got planned for this year. I know it's a lot. In April, my sister will be coming down. She makes a yearly trip down. Gail, if you're watching, you need to figure out what you want to do when you're down here. Give me some ideas of what you want to do. Let's see. Do you guys have a favorite designer? You guys can probably guess what some of my favorites. The Mirabilia, Paula Bon. Oops, I need one flying out of my fingers. Those are my favorites. Mirabilia and Paula Bon. I'm starting to really like the Bella Filipinas also. There's several of them that are very pretty. I like Silver Creek needles. Silver Creek? I think it's Silver Creek. They are actually from my neck of woods up in Pennsylvania. Or she, not they. And I did not know that until I moved down here. My cousin that lives up there had told me. So yeah, those are some of my favorite designers. How about a favorite floss or silk? Do you have a favorite floss or silk? I really, really, really love the Belsois silks. That's my favorite silk. And the Be Stitch Me silk, but I think Belsois are better. Really like them. If I could afford silks for everything, I would. I like the color and cotton because you get quite a bit for your money. And then there's good old DMC. I like DMC because it's cheap and it's very readily available. Oops. I think I'm going to finish this row and I'm going to let you go because Leah is out there squawking like crazy. I'm sure the neighbors are probably tired of hearing her. Hopefully she's not annoying you guys too much. So, I will see you all next week at my usual, hopefully Friday time. I've gotten so that I kind of like recording on Thursday nights and having it come up live, you know, setting it to premiere at 9 a.m. on Fridays. That may be something that I'm going to start doing frequently. Because if it's a Friday morning before my weekend, so I work every other weekend. If it's the Friday before my weekend, I tend to do my grocery shopping on Fridays. So I get up, you know, eat my breakfast, maybe stitch a little bit, and then I go do my video, you know, get ready, do my video, and run and do my grocery shopping, and then come back and try working on my video. And so if I do it Thursday night, I don't have to rush at trying to get the editing done. I can spend a little bit more time on it. And it seems like when I record in the afternoon, I don't make as many mistakes, bumbling and all that stuff. So I feel more comfortable for some reason recording on Thursdays. So anyways, all that to be said, I hope you all have a good week. Thanks for staying with me for however long this video is. And I hope you were able to be productive on your cross stitch like I have been. Let me show you what I'll show you what it all looks like. So just in the little time that we've been chit-chatting, I have gotten the gray on that smoke there done, and I've gotten the gray on that rail right there. And this is what it looks like so far. Well, thanks for stopping by, and hopefully we'll do this again sometime. Bye, guys.